As United Nations top court, International Court of Justice kicked off hearings aimed at setting legal guidelines for how countries should protect the planet against climate change and help vulnerable nations combat its devastating impact, India on Thursday made a strong case where it highlighted the importance of equitable global action to safeguard the environment. More than 100 countries are part of the biggest ever hearing, joined by both biggest emitters as well as the most vulnerable island nations. Here's a report by DD India's Anita Raj.
Choking smog, scorching heat and ravaging floods are major indications of climate change, an issue scientists have warned requires urgent action by the world leaders. Discussions taken up on global forums to tackle the rising global inequality and escalating climate crisis. India effectively articulated and showcased its commitment to climate action and various initiatives being taken at the international as well as domestic level. Recently, India slammed developed countries for causing the climate crisis during a landmark hearing at the International Court of Justice on Thursday, saying they exploited the global carbon budget, failed to honor climate finance promises, and now demanding that developing countries restrict their resource use.
India is pursuing ambitious climate actions based on our own domestic resources, despite the fact that our developed country partners have not fulfilled their obligations to provide climate finance and low-carbon technologies.
Joining other top emitters, the United States and France, India told the International Court of Justice that the existing UN framework was sufficient, angering smaller, vulnerable states that want to see the court go.
If the suggestion is that some, but not all, states are entitled as a matter of international law to reparations simply upon a showing that the climate system has been harmed, we do not see a basis for such a conclusion.
France is convinced that these advisory proceedings provide a unique opportunity for the court to contribute to identifying and clarifying international law in regard to the fight against climate change. The impact of the ICJ's opinion was beyond doubt.
La lutte contre les changements climatiques.
The attitude of the developed nations have angered the smaller, vulnerable states. They pressed the court to go further in enforcement of the provisions to contain climate change and financing. The ICJ is holding historic hearings to form a so-called advisory opinion on states' responsibilities to fight climate change and the consequences for those damaging the environment. More than 100 countries and organizations are presenting at the ICJ the biggest case ever before the world's top court. Anita's report for DD India.